Hey, this is Alice.
And I'm Jack.
And in this week's video, we're taking you to Old Town Bluffton. So Bluffton is a town in South Carolina near Hilton Head, and we were recently there for a wedding in Bluffton, South Carolina, and we discovered this section called Old Town. It is a really neat area, and we wanted to show you some of the sights.
So there's this park area in Old Town Bluffton. There's actually a couple of parks. The playground is closed, of course. We traveled there during the COVID-19 pandemic in late summer 2020. So there's playground equipment. It looks like it'd be really fun for the family, just not right now.
But this is a really spacious park. Would be a great place to have a picnic. They have picnic tables, a lot of open spaces, and then they had some additional seating set up, like these couple of chairs set apart to be socially distanced. So this would just be a really nice spot to relax.
Yeah, there's lots of palmetto trees and Spanish moss in the area, which South Carolina is, of course, known for.
And there are a lot of historical houses and buildings here. One of them is the Hayward House. This also serves as the visitor center and a museum. Now, it was closed when we were there due to COVID, but you could walk around the outside and see the whole plantation. This was built around 1841, and they have worked to preserve it.
Yeah, there's a number of historic buildings in Old Town Bluffton, and they're all marked so you can see when they were built. A lot of the historic homes were burned down during the Civil War, so there aren't many left, but there are some, and it's just very interesting to see what homes look like 100, 150 years ago or more in some cases. So around this area there is some seating, some tables, and there's a fire pit here. Old Town Bluffton hosts several festivals throughout the year, although those have all been canceled this year due to COVID. But it would be interesting to see this area during the festivals that it's known for. This is a restoration of their summer kitchen building. It's a smaller kitchen separate from the house. And here's a restoration of a slave cabin from 1841. This is actually the last remaining slave cabin in Bluffton, South Carolina, and this and all the other buildings on the property were built by enslaved people in the 1800s.
And they had this garden that I thought was really interesting. They had some herbs and some various plants here, and they would label them with the different medicinal uses. So you could see what kind of plants they used to treat headaches or to cure an upset stomach. I thought that was really interesting.
This truck is not from the 1800s, but it was here, storing firewood. This was really cool in Old Town Bluffton. They have these oyster shells in front of a lot of the different stores or homes in the area. This one has a photo on it from the archives that are stored in the museum at Hayward House of the boats that were used to transport oysters on the May River, which is right nearby.
And all along the streets in Old Town Bluffton, they have a ton of different shops. So you see here one for home decor. They had lots of specialty shops. For instance, this one, the storybook shop, was a shop with books for children. So really anything that you wanted to find there. Lots of interesting shops with various products. Some were handmade, some were made in other parts of South Carolina, but really great shopping here.
They also have a lot of art galleries in Old Town Bluffton. You can't throw a baseball in this area without hitting an art gallery. It seems to be a really good community of local artists that are displaying their work in and around these art galleries. There appears to be a bit of competition between the art galleries as well. So if you're into looking at art galleries, this is definitely a place you want to check out. The art inside is often pretty expensive, I will warn you though. Here's another boutique shop in the area. It's called Eggs Intricities. It's a clothing shop, and they also have some home decor goods as well. And here's some more historic houses in the area.
Yeah, these were all labeled with signs that told you the name of the house and the date of when it was built. Most of these looked like private residences, though, so I don't think they do tours or anything, but it was really neat to see these beautiful old houses.
Here's one of the older ones from 1850, so 170 years old. They have all been restored. For homes as old as they are, they're in very good condition. It's very interesting to see what the community looked like so long ago.
And then another old building that was probably my favorite is this really old church. It's called the Church of the Cross, and they do still have services here. They have one on Saturday night and two on Sundays. And I've read that during festivals, they sometimes have this church open for tours so that you could look inside. It was not open the day that we were there, but it was fascinating to walk around and see. This is the older part that you're looking at here, built in the 1800s, and then as they've added on more modern sections, they just built around it. But this is a beautiful church with lots of details.
Yeah, so this older building section is cross-shaped if you were to look down on it from above. And there behind it you can see what the new buildings look like. They're kind of made in a similar style. And this building is on the National Registry of Historic Places.
And it sits right on the May River, so it has a beautiful view as well.
And once a week on Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. they have a farmer's market right here in this field area between some of the stores. One store we really liked was the Bluffton General Store.
Yeah, this store had a little bit of everything. It had some home decor, lots of decorations about Bluffton or South Carolina or the beach, and then a lot of products that are made in South Carolina. A lot of handmade soaps and candles. Here you see peanuts and some other products. This was just a really fun store to look in.
There's a number of restaurants in the area. They all looked really good. The one we ended up eating at was this one.
Yeah, this is the Old Town Dispensary. This is a really popular place at night, we heard. They often have live music, they have outdoor seating, a full bar. They also have indoor seating if you want to sit indoors.
This is mostly pub food. We chose it specifically because it had indoor seating. At this point in history, when we were there, a number of places either only had outdoor seating or they had very limited indoor seating, and it was full, so we would have had to wait. This place had just opened, so we were able to get a table indoor to get out of the hot summer sun.
And because we were going to the wedding later on that day, we didn't want to eat too much, so we decided to split a meal. They had great looking food here and great looking drinks, but what we tried was called the sweet tea fried chicken sandwich. And it came with fries, and they actually split it for us, which was really nice. It had pickles and chipotle mayo, and here you see a picture of it split in half. It was really good. I liked it. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was really good. I'm not sure why it's called sweet tea chicken. I didn't really taste any tea. I don't know if tea is used in the batter or why it's called that, but it was delicious. We enjoyed it. So there are many desserts that I can resist, but the one that I cannot is peanut butter pie. Anytime it's on a menu somewhere, we have to get it. We split this piece. It was delicious also, and just a really good restaurant. We enjoyed it.
And because this town is on the May River, there are also places you can rent paddleboards, kayaks, things like that, so that you can get out on the water and see it. It is beautiful.
Yeah, we really enjoyed our afternoon here. There's a lot to look at. We didn't even get to all of it, but we definitely enjoyed the few hours that we had to spend in Old Town Bluffton.
So if you're heading to Hilton Head, South Carolina, you may want to stop and check this out on the way. And that's it for this week's video. If you liked it, I hope you'll give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, and we'll see you the next time we're traveling through.